All right, can you hear me now, bro?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
All right, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream.
All right, cool. What's up?
All right, so what did you want to debate about?
All right, so I don't get. Okay, what's wrong with the Xbox One? They pretty much changed everything back. The policies are not like they were at E3. So what's wrong about it? I see nothing wrong with it. I think it's a better console than the PS4 itself.
Why?
All right, so Xbox Live right now is better than PS3 network, and over the time, Xbox is still going to have a better online.
What makes it better?
The community, everything itself. Xbox or PS3 itself, the online is not as much. It's not better than the Xbox Live we have right now.
Why
Plus, they don't even have free yet.
Why do you believe that?
What do you mean? Like Xbox Live? Well, it's true. A bunch of people I know switched from PS3 to Xbox, and they even told me the online on there sucks, and Xbox has a better online.
Okay, well, a bunch of people that I know told me they switched from Xbox to PlayStation. So I can make the same point.
All right, yeah, because the online is free, but it's not better than the Xbox.
What about Xbox Live is better than PSN?
Well, the games, the DLC, the community, a lot.
What sort of games are you talking about? Let's tackle that one first.
All right, cool. So, Call of Duty, of course, the DLC. Nothing big about that, but you know the DLC itself. What else?
So Xbox Live. Part of the reason why Xbox Live is better is because of the DLC.
No, not the DLC. Not the DLC itself, but the people. You know, just the community itself. PlayStation Network does not have a better community than the Xbox.
What makes you say that? Because I believe that both consoles have a good community of gamers. Every platform has a good community of gamers online. But I feel that on the Xbox platform, there's more children, and there should be more enforcement on Xbox Live.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, just go to YouTube. Look at how many children are being trolled on Xbox Live online.
Yeah, same with PlayStation, no? Am I correct?
You don't see that on YouTube. You see all the trolling being done on Xbox Live.
Xbox. Because you know why? Because people prefer Xbox than PS4 or PS3, right?
But what people are you talking about?
I guess YouTube itself. You see more people playing Xbox than PlayStation.
Well, I can't really count for their choice of platform. That's not a real point to make. The people on YouTube do not represent everyone on the internet. But in general, you see children on Xbox Live and Call of Duty and in Minecraft being trolled to death because there's a lot of kids on Xbox Live.
There's kids everywhere, and
I got sick and tired of playing 12-year-olds from England, okay, on Xbox Live. That was one of the main reasons why I had to stop using it.
So where do you play now?
Oh, I'm generally on the PC. I've always been a PC gamer.
So what's so good about the PC than a console?
Well, I have control of everything I want to do on the PC. You don't have that on the consoles.
And by that, what do you mean?
Like, you guys have to pay to play online. I don't. I get a better service online than Xbox Live, and I don't have to pay anything.
Okay, so a better service, but there's a bunch of modders on video games, and people just hack, or they don't even have to buy the game itself. They could just download it.
Halo 4 was hacked and being played online before the game even released. There was cheaters online on Halo 4 on the Xbox 360 before the game released. So let's not talk about modders and hackers.
How do you know that?
Oh, they just Google it. They released that information.
So people were playing the game before it came out?
Yes, they were. I can pull it up right now and show you if you'd like me to.
Well, let me see. Hold on. I'm on Google. I don't see anything on it. I don't see anything on it.
Let's see. Here is one October 15th. Microsoft swings ban hammer at Halo 4 pirates. Here's a board from IGN. Is Halo 4 seriously already being hacked? Here's another article. Halo 4 leaked online more than 3 weeks before its release. Need I go on?
All right, fine. But everyone hacks every console itself, PS3, Xbox, and the PC, but that's why it's Grand Theft Auto 5.
If there's hacking on every platform, then why would you bring it up as a point?
Well, that's why Grand Theft Auto 5 is not being released on the PC.
Well, if you believe it's not released on the PC, that's fine, because there's been plenty of games that weren't supposed to be released on the PC. They end up there anyway.
Alright, so, okay, skipping that, main reason is, why do you think the Xbox One is not, why do you always make videos on anti-Xbox? Why? Like, what's the deal with you and Xbox? Alright, you play Left 4 Dead 2, right? And that's only exclusive for Xbox. So why trash the Xbox One itself? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Just give me 1 minute. Left 4 Dead is on the PC. Did you not know this? Did you not know that Left 4 Dead was on the PC?
I could have sworn it was an Xbox exclusive, but it's not on PS3.
So?
Alright, you got me there. Fuck.
Okay, then next.
Where's Sean and Needham? What the heck? Is he watching this? Oh my god.
Yeah, where is Sean? Sean's supposed to get in on this. Mr. Damage Control and block people.
He's blocking people.
He and I, we had a debate on Twitter, and he got mad and blocked me.
But he didn't block you though, so...
Yeah, but he tried to pretend and lie and say he didn't do it, which is even funnier.
Okay, so, are you gonna get a PS4 or Xbox One? Or neither?
I'll eventually get a PS4.
But you did say you were going to get the Xbox One if they did not include a Kinect with the console.
I'll probably get one.
So
I don't think I'll be able to actually put money in Microsoft's pocket by buying their console, because to buy an Xbox One would be a commitment to pay yearly for Xbox Live Gold, and that's not something I want to do.
Alright, so look, so every video you say Microsoft, they're money hungry, they don't care about the consumers. How do they not care about the consumers if they changed every policy back?
Well, let me ask you this. If you have a girlfriend and you both love each other, are you going to listen to her to say, "Baby, I love you," after she cheats on you several times? Break up with her.
Probably break up with her, but that's not the...
Exactly. If they actually love you, they're not going to cheat on you. People show their true intentions by their actions. And right out of the front gate, Microsoft came out to fuck the consumers, which is why they've had to make these reversals.
But they upgraded the hardware and software, so I don't.
Are you telling me that 5 megahertz is going to make a difference? 53 megahertz.
Maybe. Well, I get right, but hey, they're doing a lot of things for the people They're trying to get consumers back by adding a bunch of stuff, I guess, to the bundle, all that stuff like the microphone and HDMI. But they did a lot. You can't lie. They actually changed it from going to the DRM console to no DRM and use games.
So we should forgive them because they gave us a headset and an HDMI cable?
No, that's not the point. What the heck? All right. Just to point at Xbox itself, yeah, they fucked up pretty big, but they're trying to win consumers back. Yeah, I know about that little quote you gave me about the girlfriend, but come on, it's a company. They're trying to get consumers back. It's their job. Sure, they fucked up. Besides, they even fired Don Matrick because he fucked up.
They didn't fire Don Matrick. Don Matrick has been planning on going over to the other company for a while.
And how do you know this?
Because you don't hire a CEO within just a week or so. It doesn't happen. This is something they know well in advance. A company doesn't change out the lead of the entire fucking company just like that. That doesn't happen.
All right, so you're saying Microsoft itself went ahead with the DRM, and Don Matrick had nothing to do with this shit. So he had nothing to say in the console development when they were making the console itself. So he just left for no reason, for no apparent reason.
It's called jumping ship. He saw a better opportunity elsewhere. Don Matrick secured his own future. He's not going down with the ship.
So he's not going down for Xbox. What if Xbox makes a big comeback?
I don't believe it will.
And why not?
Because gamers are not going to forgive Microsoft for what they tried to do. And Microsoft is still not giving them a value either. There's just too much value in the PS4 to go and get an Xbox One.
Okay, how? Value of what?
Well, just look at what you can do with the PS4 that you can do for free. Which, like game DVR, free features that you have to pay for on the Xbox platform.
Okay, but if you have an internet connection, you're not going to... What's the point of buying an Xbox if you're not going to be able to play online? You're going to buy gold regardless of the cost.
So what you're telling me is that everyone that bought an Xbox 360 were going to be online, right?
I guess everyone on my...
There is no point, right?
What do you mean?
Because you do realize that around, I don't know, like maybe 39% of those who had an Xbox 360 weren't online. You're telling me that those pretty much 40% of the entire install base is nothing?
Okay, but this is not the case. The Xbox One, I guess, was meant to be online. And if you're not going to buy gold, why get the Xbox 360 like Xbox One, like Don Matrick said? Stick with the 360, right?
You know why they said that?
Why?
Because the Xbox One was not made for consumers. It was made specifically for Microsoft's own reasons, to benefit Microsoft and not the consumers.
And how's that?
Did you not see how all the military branches were upset about it? How they called Microsoft anti-military for making a console that our soldiers and everyone in the military were not able to use because they were in extreme places that don't have internet connections?
Okay, so the military itself, they can't play Sony or PlayStation 4s, right? It's only Xbox.
No, they can play PS4 just fine. PS4 can play offline right out of the box.
I'm saying, can they even... I heard that from a friend saying they can't play PlayStation because it's an American-made, I guess, console, and Xbox is what the military plays. Is this true?
No.
No?
So you're telling me that the military is not allowed Game Boys?
That's not my opinion. That was from a friend.
PlayStations? Your friend's pretty silly. And you shouldn't listen to what they say.
Okay, but anyways, still, how are you going to tell people not to get the Xbox One if it's, I guess it's basically an Xbox 360, but upgraded big time. They don't have DRM anymore, so I don't see anything wrong with it. How are they trying to screw consumers if they, yeah, sure, they probably did it because losing sales, but come on, they did a lot.
Did they have a choice?
I don't know. Because look, this is how I look at it. E3, Microsoft and Sony probably had the same intention of making DRM in 24 online, but you know how Microsoft went first at E3.
Are we here to discuss what they're actually doing or intentions?
What do you mean?
Because Sony's intentions were pretty clear from day one that they were there for the consumer.
And how do you know this? Are you
Because
sure?
that's what they displayed. That's what they came out of the gate with. They didn't have to do any rehearsals.
After seeing Microsoft fail, they probably went, oh, let's just fucking switch to DRM and say we allow all those used games. The only reason they had that much of a high momentum was because Microsoft itself was falling apart. People were, talking shit about it because of no used games, and they even went ahead to make a video on how to trade games. They were, fucking bagging on Microsoft. They used that. They used it. They used the time, or whatever that moment they used to get all consumers hyped up about the PS4.
Isn't it funny? But isn't it funny that to be the better system and to be more accepted by the consumer to do the opposite of what Microsoft is doing? Do you see that?
Microsoft itself, if they were, they probably thought, hey, we have a pretty good system. Let's try to,
No.
They were trying to look into the future.
The system they had was to benefit Microsoft. It was not for consumers.
So why make a console then? Why even make a console if it was only for Microsoft and not for consumers?
Well, as I've said for several years, the more restrictions and the more limitations that are put on you, the consumer, the gamer, the more money they can make. And that's why the Xbox One had so many limitations, because people let them get away with so much on the Xbox 360. I mean, if you get this chick and you're constantly buying her dinner, paying for stuff for her, but she treats you like shit, but you still keep doing stuff for her, she's going to ask for more and more, and it's only going to get bigger and get worse. And that's what happened with the Xbox One. But when they finally came out with the Xbox One, gamers slapped that bitch in the face and told them, no, enough is enough. We're not putting up their bullshit anymore. And then Microsoft had to make all these changes like, I love you, baby. I'll do better. I'm going to clean up. I'm going to cook. And I'll pay for dinner next time and blah, blah. They had to schmooze us to get back in gamers' graces. They got drive kicked.
My friend Isidro, he's a big fan of you, and he actually, you actually made me go switch my pre-order to PS4. But after everything Xbox did, how could you say no to Xbox? If you love the 360, stick with what you love and not switch.
Well, 360 is not the Xbox One.
But it's pretty much a 360 upgraded with Blu-ray and all that stuff.
Yeah, but the policies that are on each one are vastly different. With the Xbox 360, you can open it up out of the package and start playing games. The same cannot be said for the Xbox One. Right out of the box, they're different.
I don't know what to say. I just think the Xbox itself is better.
Well, what's some of your other reasons as to why you think that?
All right, first of all, so with the Kinect, I'm not a big fan of the Kinect, but it's going to be included on every, Xbox One. But it costs more to make a Kinect than the console itself. You're getting a fucking, $500 camera? What's the console? Just $100 extra?
Actually, Microsoft said that the Kinect is just a little bit less in manufacturing costs to the Xbox One.
A 1080p camera that can, 3D scan you and all that shit. That's a pretty fucking good camera you're getting with the fucking console
So
itself.
is the 3D scanning feature essential to actually play a game?
Actually, they were talking about developers themselves could actually add that feature so you could scan, I guess, your face or something to be in the games if they wanted to.
Yeah, that's what the 3DS does.
Yeah, but that's what the Kinect pretty much is. If you can have the camera, you can pretty much have a Kinect and be like, oh yeah, I have the Kinect, and you can use any Kinect feature without going to the fucking store and getting one, you know?
Yeah, and the 3DS does the same thing.
Because fucking 3DS already had it in. It already had it included. So they're doing the same thing with the Xbox. They're including the Kinect. They're not gonna fucking have camera to the console itself.
What you need to realize is that Microsoft, when it comes to game applications, they realize that Kinect is just not meant for gaming. It's only meant for gimmicks. Just look at games like Rise of Nightmares. When you try to make a real game like Fable Journey with Kinect, it just doesn't happen. Look at that shitty Star Wars game that all the XBOTs hyped up. That game was shit. The only good part of the game was the damn Central clone. When it comes to actual gaming, Kinect is just not there for it. It's not. It's only there for little gimmicks like voice controls and what else? The scanning feature and sighting you in automatically when it's
evolve over time. You never know what they can add. Like how the Xbox evolved over time. It's way different from how it was back in
devolved.
When it released.
The Xbox 360 devolved over time.
What do you mean?
Just look at the dashboard. First, it starts out, your music, your games, your videos, and then after each upgrade, what do you get? You get slots for advertising and all this bullshit that Microsoft wants you to see. It's no longer your dashboard. It's Microsoft's dashboard.
I don't know. I'm speechless.
I'll tell you one thing. On my PS3, I never had to look at DiGiorno pizza ads. I never had the Windows Phone ads, Nestea, Mazda Protege, Home Depot, and all that assortment of bullshit.
And the thing is, PS4 is charging online too. Yeah, sure, you get some free features like Netflix and Party Chat, all that stuff, but they're charging for online. And what do you think?
What they give you in return actually pays you back more than what you pay for.
Yeah, the games and all that. Yeah, it's cool. Xbox is doing the same thing right now, but it's fucking shitty. But anyways, yeah, they're trying. But look,
Xbox is not doing the same thing. It's only giving Xbox 360 gamers 2 free games a month up until the release of the Xbox One.
Yeah, but it's something to give back. But the PS4, all that money. What do you think? Because PS3, the online, you can admit it's not that better than the Xbox 360 itself. So after they're charging for online, what with that money? What are they going to do with all that money?
Well, as Sony came out and said, they said they're going to invest that money back into PlayStation Network. That's what they said they're going to do.
So Xbox is already doing that. So why is it a big deal that they're charging for online if they're already doing that?
So you're telling me Microsoft is investing that money into Xbox Live?
Fuck it, probably. Why? What's the reason for charging
Look
them?
at the Xbox 360. With millions of people paying $60 a year, what did Microsoft do? Where was the dedicated servers on the Xbox 360?
They have them on the One?
Well, we're not talking about the One. You guys have been paying for Xbox Live since, 2003? Where was your dedicated servers all this time? Tell me. Show me a single Halo game on the Xbox 360 that had dedicated servers.
The games, exclusives, features.
Show me a single Halo game that had dedicated servers on the Xbox 360. Are you telling me with all the money they get from Xbox Live Gold memberships, they couldn't secure dedicated servers for one of their flagship series? franchises? That shit was P2P, peer-to-peer, host advantage, migration. But you're paying $60 a year for that.
I would.
For the first time in Xbox history, you guys are going to experience dedicated servers, which Sony's been providing since the release of the PS3. Because right out of the gate, without having people in the pay, they had a dedicated servers for Warhawk, dedicated servers for Killzone, dedicated servers for Resistance 1 and 2, and an assortment of other first-party titles from Sony.
Oh my god. Okay. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Did you pay Microsoft so that your Xbox can connect? Oh, give me 1 second, Sean. Let me finish with your friend here, and I'll bring you in, bro. So why should you pay Microsoft so that your Xbox can connect to Infinity Ward servers?
What do you mean?
You do realize that all third-party titles, the multiplayer is provided by a third party, right?
Yeah.
So why are you paying Microsoft for that?
So you're telling me it? So you're telling me that it's?
He put me on hold. Okay. Is this on live? All right, now we're back.
What happened? We can't. What? Three-way this or what?
Well, I'll talk to you first, and then I'll talk to him. Let's keep this
All right.
organized one-on-one.
All right, cool.
All right, so as we were saying, when you play a game like Call of Duty, that's your Xbox connecting to Infinity Ward servers, because they're the ones who own the game. They're going to be the ones who are actually going to be providing the multiplayer. So why should you pay Microsoft for that?
Online, I guess.
What do you think Microsoft get their updates here?
What do you mean?
Why? That's why you're paying them.
So yeah, like my brother says, you're paying them for the updates, I guess.
Get them better shit. They can buy games.
Oh, you mean for like patches?
Yeah.
You do know that the developers and publishers pay Microsoft for that, right?
I don't mean patches. I mean like.
Okay, so I don't know, but so I guess you're paying pretty much for like what exclusive deals, games, The Minecraft, yeah, sure, Minecraft's coming out for
what kind of
yeah.
exclusive deals?
All right, so the time exclusive, I guess, was Minecraft the year before PlayStation got it because they're getting it. But that was a time exclusive going on the 360
So all
PC.
they can manage is getting you time exclusive content.
DLC.
$60 a year.
DLC.
Oh yeah, why not?
Map packs. Just map packs for a couple games.
Features. All right. Let's just move on to the Xbox. So the Xbox One itself has Skype. Have you seen the features? You can do a shit ton of things at the same time. Play games. You could be playing a game and then having another game. Like that other guy said. What was his name? Zaire.
Watch TV,
you can watch TV. Sure. Fucking you have a
actually quoting Zaire.
Fuck, I think. But like, you can do a bunch of things though on the Xbox One. And
you know what? That's regarding the hardware. That's something on the hardware.
But you're paying for it, right? You're
paying Microsoft so your Xbox can do what it's supposed to do, what it's built to do?
Yeah.
You're paying for Xbox Live Gold for a feature that's not necessarily online.
So you're telling me Xbox Live Gold is useless? It's useless. Not even. Why even pay if all this it's in the hardware?
Exactly. It's
So why is PlayStation 4 doing it?
well, as Sony stated, they're going to use the money to put back into their network to improve it.
Yeah.
So you don't think Xbox is doing that with the money they get too?
Have they been doing that?
Yeah.
You tell me.
Nope.
And how do you know this?
Can you tell me a single Halo game on dedicated servers?
Oh my God.
Halo 4.
Nope. Halo 4 is on P2P. Halo 4 has host migration. That's not dedicated.
Still Halo 4 though. Fuck it.
P2P 360.
But hey, you did hear about the dedicated servers we're going to have on Xbox One, right?
Yes, Microsoft invested in like 300,000 servers across the world. Yes.
But hey, but they invested, right? But you're going to get dedicated servers on the Xbox One.
So what you're saying is that you guys have been paying for Xbox Live since 2003 for what's happening right now.
Yeah.
That's what
Hey,
you're saying.
they're bringing dedicated servers. They're bringing dedicated servers. You can't complain about.
Sony's been bringing dedicated servers,
Yeah,
so
sure.
why is Microsoft late to the party?
Yeah, Microsoft's been charging people, and Sony's late to the party too, right?
But Sony is giving consumers more money back and more value for PlayStation Plus.
It's just games itself. It's just games. They're pretty much useless games. Like
Uses games like Uncharted 3, like Saints Row the Third, like
It's a bunch of-
Jet Set Radio.
it's probably just one game because I've heard it's a bunch of indie games and you just get probably one game.
Like Hitman Absolution.
You're telling me you're gonna get Uncharted 3, Hitman, Battlefield 3 in the same day. 3 games in one day.
Right now, what they have available for PlayStation Plus members is Hitman Absolution, Saints Row the Third, Jet Set Radio, XCOM Enemy Unknown, Little Big Planet Karting, Uncharted 3, Zen Pinball, Bit Trick Runner 2, the Oddworld remake, Machinarium, Pinball Eraser, and Night Underground. And that's just the PS3 titles, and that changes every month.
So you're gonna have all this memory or gigabytes just for all those fucking games, or are you gonna?
You can download them at any given time you like, as long as you have actually downloaded them in the first place. If you download them and erase it, it'll always be available in your store history, so you can download it from there.
This is one of the topics I've been wanting to talk about with you: the cloud on PS4 and Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
Now, PlayStation does not have Smart Glass. They don't have an app, but I heard they're going to have a PlayStation app. But the Smart Glass on Xbox itself is evolving, and it's going to be something big on the Xbox One. You know,
Smart Glass.
Smart Glass. Well, you can do a bunch on Smart Glass, but the cloud features itself on the Xbox One, I think they are slightly better than the PS4.
Why?
With everything you can do.
Why? Give me some examples.
Okay. Examples are you can on Forza you can download people, I guess, your friends and race with them offline. You can bigger worlds, bigger matches, and all that over cloud. You can save on cloud. You can
Did you say you have like bigger maps and bigger worlds using the cloud?
I guess that's what Microsoft said about Minecraft.
If the cloud could actually do this and add processing power to the Xbox One, then why doesn't Forza 5 have nighttime racing and weather effects?
Because all that shit. That's why.
Because they haven't added it, I guess. They're too lazy to do it.
Too lazy to do it. But they have all that extra power from the cloud, right?
It's their first game. Probably Forza Motorsport 6 probably might have that.
It's their first game.
On the Xbox One.
So,
They probably might add a bunch of fucking features on the next game next year when they make Forza Motorsport 6, because that's basically a Call of Duty game right there. Every
Gran
year.
Turismo 5 had weather effects and nighttime racing.
What do you mean by that? Like what? Is season effects in the game? It rain starts raining when you're playing the game out of nowhere? Are you talking about that?
Yep. Beaten by a game that came out last generation. Just like Killer Instinct.
And what do you mean by Killer Instinct? Or by that, what do you mean? It's bad?
Huh?
So you're saying Killer Instinct is bad?
Yep.
How is that?
It's not a value.
The title, right?
It's not a value.
It's not a what?
It's not a value.
What do you mean by that?
With Killer Instinct, the most that you would have to pay for now to get all the content is $39.99, $40. Do you know how many characters that comes with?
2, right?
That's 8 total for the
But you're not-
$39.99.
Alright, that's probably just an arcade game. You're not going to be playing Killer Instinct for like fucking months. It's free, sure, but if you want all, I understand you have to pay for more characters and all that, but it's a free game.
$5 per character when an indie fighter that's very popular called Skullgirls sells for $14.99, has more game modes than Killer Instinct and more characters. And the $39.99 bundle actually comes with the original Killer Instinct arcade game, and the original Killer Instinct arcade game has more characters than the new Killer Instinct.
But you're getting 2 games, right? If you pay $40. You have the new one and the old one.
Yeah. Something Sony's
I
been
guess-
doing for a while now as well.
So, what new feature does the PS4 have than the Xbox One? The Xbox One itself has a bunch of features added, and what the PS4 is pretty much a PS 3.5 with DVR, better graphic cards.
You say they have the same features and then just claim that the PS4 is just an upgraded version of the PS3.
Because it already has Blu-ray, it already has the game marketplace. You can already buy games on day one. Xbox 360 can't do that, but I guess the Xbox One can. So when a new game releases, you can buy it on the marketplace digitally, and PS3 is pretty much, the PS4 is pretty much just a PS3 upgraded slightly with DVR, graphics, the controller, everything. That's my opinion. Xbox One
Isn't
itself,
the same set for the Xbox One?
what do you mean?
The Xbox 360 and the Xbox One are pretty much the same.
Yeah, but
except a graphics boost and a power boost.
in the Blu-ray, the controller has, I guess it's upgraded. No fucking big-ass battery, lumpy-ass pack in the back. That's been in, I guess, it's
Yes, you have to pay, what, $60 for a controller and then extra for batteries? That's $100 million. That's how much they spent designing it. No internal battery. It's great. It's wonderful.
Okay, so the
$60 for a controller, $25 for the battery pack.
you get a free controller, by the way. You get a fucking free mic. I think the mic is better than the one PS4 is including.
Oh, so you used them. You used them both. How did you do
I was
that?
actually there.
The headset's a headset. I'd say they're both good. They both can't be bad.
So you use
It
them,
can't
right?
be worse than what came with the 360.
The fucking PS3 headset just like an earphone.
Yeah, it's just a fucking little earphone. A little earphone. You're gonna have to buy a new one if fucking little headbud.
Do you have a Bluetooth?
Yeah.
Okay, you have a PS3 headset.
No, I don't have a PS3.
You have a PS4 headset. You have a Bluetooth headset. You have a PS4 headset.
I actually designed the PS4 headset.
Here's my PS4 headset right here. My Bluetooth headset.
And how much was that?
Just $50.
And you're gonna be able to use it for a PS4?
I can use it for PS3 and PS4. Because you can use whatever Bluetooth headset you like on
You
both
use it-
platforms.
yes.
Sony allows you to use third-party headsets. Microsoft does not when it comes to wireless.
All right. Jesus Christ. Can we just talk about the games real quick? So the games, I know they don't have any good games out there, but what good games exclusives the PS4 have than the Xbox One? What makes the PS4's exclusives better than the Xbox One? I want to hear your opinion on this one. Why trash the Xbox One exclusives?
The only thing I've trashed was Killer
You
Instinct.
trash and Forza. I don't know. You're talking about it's not a full game, and how is that?
I haven't talked about the gameplay itself, but the actual way the game was made and the policies and the business practices behind the games, how they're unfair to the gamer. I never said necessarily that the games were bad.
So you're saying that you're not going to get a full Forza game,
You're not.
and how do you know this? How do you know this?
Because the developers of Forza Turn 10 have come out and stated that in order to have the complete content of the game and to play the remaining parts, the deeper parts of the actual career mode, you have to download the remaining content. Which means every copy of Forza ships incomplete. You cannot play the full game with what is on the disc.
So there's a bunch of things wrong with the Xbox One, from your opinion, or coming from you. So what about the PS4? So is that that console like Mr. Perfect? There has to be something wrong with the console.
Let's see.
First of all,
Well, I don't like that they're actually charging for online. I don't like that at all.
do you want to get hacked?
They got hacked on PS3. And do you have anything to say about that?
Major Nelson's been hacked.
That's Major Nelson.
Plenty of people on the Xbox platform have been hacked. Anyone could be hacked.
Online itself,
Online
PS3 online, you couldn't even play online.
So are you blaming Sony for the actions of individual hackers?
Or having a shitty firewall, yes, they could have probably.
You do realize that if a hacker wants in, a hacker's going to get in.
Yeah. Well, okay. The servers for PS3 were shut down. No one could play online, right? The Xbox has been hacked, but it's never been to the point where you can't play online because a hacker fucked up the whole, online community. That shows how PS3 has terrible support if they couldn't stop the hacker or having a good firewall.
You do realize that when a hacker wants in, a hacker's going to get in. There really is no stopping a hacker.
Why not have a better...
Why do you think the head of Xbox Live's enforcement and regulation teams have been hacked? Because at anytime someone wants in, they can get in. Bank of America's been hacked. Chase Bank has been hacked. There's no one that's immune to being hacked. They found out China's been hacking the Pentagon for years. You cannot protect yourself from hackers. If the Pentagon can't protect themselves, how do you expect a company like Sony or Microsoft to protect themselves?
But did it get to the point where Microsoft got their server shut down? It didn't get to the point, but with PS3 it did.
Yeah, because the only reason why it never got to that point is simply because the hackers themselves didn't want to do that.
And why did they do it on PS3, not Xbox?
I can't even begin to tell you. I don't know these individuals. I can't give you the reason for their doing that. That's like asking me, that guy on TV who robbed that bank, why did he do that? Well, obviously he wanted money, but his reasons for doing that, I don't know.
So the PlayStation 4, its online community is going to be PlayStation Network, same from PS3, am I correct? Or is it going to be different? because right now, people, and I don't know about your opinion, but you're saying it's not terrible. Say PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3's online is not better than the Xbox, but think about it. If PlayStation 4 is going to have the same online, it's not going to be good until for a while, until when they start.
Why not?
Because the online is not better than the Xbox 360.
What makes the online in 360 better?
I don't know. Okay, so from the PS3, sure, it's different from the PS4.
Because for a lot of first-party Sony titles, they offer dedicated servers, which gives gamers a better connection and a better experience online. So you're telling me that having a dedicated server on a game like Killzone is not as good as playing on a P2P server in a Halo game?
I don't know. Okay, so but you can't. But Microsoft is buying dedicated servers, 300,000 servers for the new generation.
Yes, and Microsoft stated that their first-party titles will be on dedicated servers.
And what kind of titles is that? Like Call of Duty? What else?
Call of Duty is not a first-party title.
Like, I know it's not a first party, but it's still going to have dedicated servers on the Xbox One.
Yeah, and they haven't stated any information on whether that's going to have dedicated on the PS3 and the PS4 yet. So we just don't know that information yet.
I'm speechless.
Okay.
All right, so you're telling me I should just go ahead and cancel my Xbox One pre-order and just get PlayStation 4?
Is that what I said?
I'm just saying, do you think I should do it?
I think that'd be the better choice, yes.
Why is that?
Because on the PS4, you have a better value, and you're treated like a real consumer.
And Xbox
I
One
don't
is
think
not
it's good. I don't think it's good to give companies who are not good for gamers and gaming money. Because we see what people like Microsoft do. We see what EA does. We see what Capcom does. When they keep getting money, when they fuck people, it only gets worse.
And how is EA fucking over people?
Were you not familiar with the deckable with Mass Effect 3?
No.
Were you not familiar with the EULA for Origin?
All right, no, but inform me on this. What's so bad about it?
EA is renowned for taking good franchises, turning them to shit, like Mass Effect, like Dead Space. They cut out parts of games and sell it as DLC. They originally had an EULA for Origin, stating that they can collect whatever information they want on your PC and sell it to whoever they decide to. They've done a lot of shit on gamers, and it shouldn't be allowed, and they only get worse. Look what they did with SimCity. SimCity was fucking horrible.
That's SimCity. Who fucking plays SimCity?
Evidently, millions of people. But when you give a company money that doesn't deserve it, that's just let them know that what they're doing is okay.
All right, but why? All right, yeah, sure. Fuck it. Sometimes you can't support those games, but like, the reason is EA is not screwing you over that bad. They make good games, right?
Oh, the publishers.
The publishers. Yeah,
they
but
don't make the game.
how? I don't see it. It's fucking $60 for a game like any other game.
So what you're telling me is a game like Mass Effect 3, a game like SimCity, a game like Dead Space 3.
That's the developers' reason or fault. EA is just publishing it.
Who owns those developers?
EA, but who's making the games? The developers.
Yeah, but when the parental company owns a developer, they tell them what to do.
Yeah,
So like how Don Matrick told everyone to fucking DRM the Xbox. That's what you're telling me. Because he was the fucking president of the Xbox. Did he have no part in making the Xbox One? Was he just
I'm pretty sure that he was in the boardroom when they were going over the design. But at a thing like that, you have engineers, you have analysts. They all come together to make something like that.
And so you're telling me
Even
he
if
left?
Even if Don Magic was 100% against, what they wanted to do, at Microsoft, there's still plenty of people up there that have as much, if not more, say than you. And that usually is the investors.
on, you can't do it.
All right. Okay, so let's just go back to PS3 and Xbox 360. The big thing on the Xbox 360 was party chat. PS3 did not have party chat.
Mm-hmm.
And it's how you can play a game and like Call of Duty when I'm playing Battlefield.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So my friend's telling me right now, you're playing Call of Duty. Okay, you know how party chat works. I'm playing another game and I can still talk to my friend that's playing a different game for me. On PS3, you can't do that, and it's fucking taking them years to finally add that on PS4 when they could have just done it on PS3. Why can't they just add it on PS3?
Because they didn't have the RAM for it.
And it's not going to take up that much of a RAM. How much do you think it's going to take up?
I believe the PS3 only had 256 megabytes of RAM. And that's why
The amount,
Xbox had like what, double that, I think? I think
21?
Xbox 360 had double the amount of RAM.
Yeah.
So they could do more while a game is running.
That's another pros for the Xbox 360 against the PS3. The more RAM they had.
Yeah, they had different hardware, yeah. But what point are you trying to make?
That you just can't just say the Xbox itself is oh my god, hold on.
Are you trying to say that party chat is the saving grace?
PS3 fans begged for it, right? They begged for that fucking feature.
Yeah, it's a nice feature for those who want it, yeah.
And they're barely getting it.
Well, they are getting it. That's not barely.
Hold on. My friend is actually telling me that the PS3 itself had more RAM than the Xbox. The PS3 had more RAM than the 360.
Well, their RAM was split between the CPU and the GPU, and there wasn't enough of it to run something like Party. If they could have added it, they would have done so, but it was a hardware limitation as to why Party Chat was not possible on the PS3.
But my friend says it was a stronger system, and everyone knows that. So why couldn't they just added party chat? They could have added.
When it comes to graphical prowess, and when it comes to game integrity, it was a more powerful system. But when it comes to something like multitasking, it wasn't good at that.
Let's not forget about the $600 price tag. It took years for it to go down. How much is it now? Like $200 or something dollars? $600.
Yeah, it released for $600.
And what games were so great for that amount of money?
I think they had like Resistance and a few other ones. Sword.
That game sucked.
Well, if that's how you feel, that's fine. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. Oh yeah, MotorStorm. That was another game that had dedicated servers right out of the front gate.
But all I say is, I'm guessing you get more with the Xbox One. You're getting more, and
Getting more what?
the Kinect. You're just getting more from your money. You're getting a shit ton. You're getting like a $500 camera with the fucking console itself for $100 more.
A $500 camera.
The Kinect itself is really advanced, and you're getting it just in the bundle itself.
So you're okay paying that price tag just so that it'll sign you in automatically? You're okay paying that price tag just so that you can play Kinect Sports Rivals, so it can scan you into a game?
I put down the wall.
It's solving problems that aren't problems. You can navigate without Kinect. You can do everything you want on the Xbox platform without Kinect. And them coming out and allowing you to actually disconnect it just shows it. They had to make it to where you have to disconnect Kinect. They had to make it that way. They had no choice. I mean, just think. Get an Xbox One where Kinect has to be connected at all times. The camera had to see you at all times. What would happen if the Kinect broke? You'd be sitting there with an Xbox One that wasn't able to do shit because it's asking you to get in front of the camera and it's asking you to connect the camera.
But you don't need the camera anymore.
Yeah, now you don't need it. Now, you see, that's the most important word right there. Now. That's not how it was before.
Let's talk about the Move. That was the biggest fail and ripoff. That was basically a Wii ripoff right there. PS3 pulled.
Okay.
Looks like a floating dildo, dude.
Okay. If that's how you feel, that's fine. It doesn't stop it
And
from being
now,
fun.
the design, basically, it's just a Kinect ripoff now. It's the damn camera, and you still have to buy the little dildo and little remote Wii ripoff.
Let's see. Xbox 360 and PS3. On the Xbox 360, you can buy Kinect and play Rise of Nightmares. You can fly with Peter Pan and Disneyland Adventures. You can surf the rapids and Kinect Adventures using the Kinect camera. But on the PS3, with the actual PS Move, you can play games like Dead Space Extraction, BioShock Infinite, real games. Man, how about that?
That was the prototype. Have you seen the
Connectables?
But the PS Move itself, you can't trust the Kinect. You can't trust the Kinect. It's still better than the PS Move.
Let's see. Connectables. BioShock Infinite. I can't trash Kinect. So I guess you guys love Skittles. Skittles.
Okay, so the real games you play with PS Move sucked dick.
Yeah.
So BioShock Infinite sucked dick.
The controls for it was terrible.
Oh, so you've played it. You have PS Move and BioShock Infinite on the PS3.
I went to my friend's house and played it.
Oh, at your friend's house. Well, all the Kinect games suck because I went to my friend's place and played them all there.
You can't trust in the Kinect. It was the first Kinect Microsoft did. It wasn't a big success, but they tried, and on the new one, they upgraded a shit ton.
Yeah, they upgraded so much that they're not even really making Kinect games for it. What an upgrade.
The next generation's barely beginning. You're getting, 23 titles on one?
Are you telling me that all the money Microsoft makes, they can't release some Kinect titles right out the gate when they're bundling a Kinect with every Xbox One?
I could have sworn they had a couple Kinect games on day one.
What's it called? Kinect Sports Rivals?
I guess, but that game's terrible. But a couple, like FIFA has Kinect,
Oh,
You
so
can-
you've played it. You've used the new Kinect.
I actually have a Kinect.
But that's the old Kinect. We're talking about the new one. We're talking about Kinect Sports
New
Rivals,
one?
the new one.
It has a lot. They can, 6 people at the same time instead of 2?
Okay, I can see the applications with that when you all want to play some table tennis with Kinect. Maybe some
You
Kinect beach volleyball.
Both PlayStation and Xbox have their own move, and the Xbox itself, would you rather have be holding a fucking little rip-off, the Wii rip-off, or just, sensor, like the Kinect?
Well, let's see. Would I rather see the bottom of an avatar's foot or play games like Movie Planet, Bioshock Infinite, and other real games? I think I'm going to go for the one that plays real games. How about that? Like Killzone, like Resistance, real games. I'd rather do that than pet Skittles and play, Kinect Racing, a game that was supposed to be free, but then ended up being a $60 price tag game.
A little Skype chat with them, because Jose, you guys don't know what you're talking about.
Who is this? I think we have an interception here.
That's my friend. He's right beside me. He's talking about how you,
What he said, I don't know what I'm talking about. Give me an example.
All right, tell me, Andrew.
What?
Give me an example of what I don't know what I'm talking about.
My fucking... Oh, Jose,
Hold on. Andrew, he wants... Alright, here he goes. He's going to give you an
So
example.
let's talk about the great PS4 exclusives that are coming out.
Okay.
Thank God for BBC. Please, give me a couple PS4 games that are so great and gonna blow the world away.
Well, we have games like Infamous Second Son, Shadow of the Beast. You have Deep Down. Let's see, what else?
Yep, let's talk about Beatdown, alright?
What?
What's Beatdown?
Deep Down, I think it's a RPG being made by Capcom.
Give me
What?
Give me a description.
You have a lot of
Out day one for the PS4, because I'm kind of lost with PS4 and the games that are coming out that day. Exclusives, please.
There's Drive Club, Deep Down, Infamous, MLB 14, Killzone, Shadowfall, The Order, 1886, Knack, Rhyme, Shadow of the Beast. You got Basement Brawl, Galaxy 7, Rocket Birds, Rasengan, Dust 514, Doki Doki Universe, Tiny Brains, M++, and then they have a lot of free-to-play games like Warframe, DC Universe Online, Black Knight Retribution, PlanetSide 2, and plenty other great games like DayZ.
You say that gamers don't forget Microsoft, and you're speaking for everyone else, but who are you to say for everyone else? What do people have forgiven Microsoft?
Well, what do you mean?
Because you say people don't forgive them for the DVR and used games and whatnot.
Yeah, people don't.
Like BBC says.
So you're saying that
People all the time we're going to get the Xbox One, so obviously that statement is invalid.
Well, from all the information we've been seeing so far, there's a lot more pre-orders for the PS4 than there are for the Xbox One.
Yes, that's true, but the Xbox One community is still going to be up and strong.
Okay.
Terrible, as you say.
Okay, there are mindless consumers out there. True.
Automatic, full of
Have all you want.
But I was pretty sure you were going to actually talk about exclusives, because once I mentioned all those exclusive games for the PS4, you kind of just dropped that argument altogether. So I guess you don't want to talk about exclusives anymore, right?
Yes, exclusives.
Well, give me some exclusives. Give me some exclusives for the Xbox One.
The one exclusive that's going to be a really big hit, I think, is Dead Rising 3. I don't know if you've seen any. That one.
Yes, I've seen Dead Rising 3. It looks like Dead Rising 1 and 2 with a facelift. Hooray! Well, what else you got?
Well, some people are excited for Rise. I, for one, am not.
Yeah, Rise has definitely gone through a lot of changes. First, it was a Kinect title about 3 or 4 years ago. Then it was going to be released on the Xbox 360, and now it's Xbox One with QuickTime events.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. They did kind of fuck around with that game a lot.
And they have microtransactions online as well.
Explain to me what that is.
It's when you can buy items for the online to basically a shortcut, so you don't have to play the game as much online, and you get stuff that people who actually play earn.
Well, little do you know, I am not getting an Xbox One. I'm actually getting a PS4, and I'm actually a big fan of the PS4. And my friend here really doesn't have shit to say for the Xbox One.
Yeah, he doesn't have much to defend the Xbox One with, does he?
Yes. He's kind of a... never mind. And then the headless chicken running around.
Okay, so from what I hear is sure the exclusives for the Xbox One suck, but you can't really just trash. You can't just
I didn't say they suck.
Rise. I'm not a big fan of Rise either, but I think Rise is a waste of exclusives. But resources, yeah. But what's it called? You can't just speak for everyone's mind. You can't just say, oh, you can't get the Xbox One because how Microsoft backstab you.
Microsoft did backstab consumers, and when a company mistreats consumers, they should not get consumer business. That's just how it is. Don't you agree? If there was some peanut butter out there in the market, Peter Pan peanut butter, that tested for E. coli, wouldn't you tell people not to buy their peanut butter?
I guess.
Exactly. That's what the Xbox One is. It's peanut butter with E. coli. But in this case, for Microsoft, it's not a mistake. They added that E. coli in there because they had bad peanut butter, and they wanted to sell it and try to tell everyone it was good for them. And they're going to charge you each time you make a sandwich. You have to connect your peanut butter jar online to take the lid off.
I guess Xbox. I guess you have a point. I have nothing to say after that.
And we have reached clarity. Now the healing can begin.
All right. Well,
That was fun.
so what do you recommend me go switch to PS4?
Well, if you want an Xbox One, I can't stop you. If you want an Xbox One, you're going to get an Xbox One.
Jesus.
I'm getting both.
All I try to do is educate people as to what their purchase actually says to the company. Because if people actually listened to what I said last generation and spoke up, Microsoft wouldn't have tried to fuck people as hard as they tried to at the very beginning of their announcements.
Alright, well, I don't know. My opinion was that Xbox One was a console for entertainment. You know, you got games, you got all that Sky bullshit, you have all that, I guess, DLC for games. Not just Call of Duty, but for other games like FIFA and all that Madden bullshit, but
They haven't told you what DLC they have for FIFA.
on the dashboard,
What's on the dashboard?
DLC, that's what they're talking about. They have games calling recaps and all that.
Because the last time Xbox 360 games had real exclusive content that was not timed, it was bullshit like a custom theme for the Xbox 360 dashboard, or it was some kind of stupid avatar item like with Final Fantasy 13. It wasn't real content like what Sony secures for their platform. Like how they have exclusive items and such in Diablo 3. How they have exclusive missions in Assassin's Creed 4. They have exclusive skins in Batman Arkham Asylum. They have exclusive missions and exclusive content in Watch Dogs, exclusive content in Mad Max, and even Destiny.
For PS3.
For PS4 and some of them PS3. And then there was a ton of multi-platform games last generation that Sony secured exclusive content for that no other platform ever got to see.
How do you know?
Because that's what was announced and that's what was on the disc. Like Dead Space 2, you got 2 games in one. You got Dead Space Extraction and Dead Space 2 on the same disc. While the Xbox 360 version, only Dead Space 2. That's it. We got 2 games, Xbox 360 got 1 game. Which game do you think has more value?
I don't know. You tell me.
Where?
The one with 2 games.
I guess.
No, I'm talking about
So, does this
BioShock
make
Infinite came with the original BioShock on the disc.
down the hill.
And these games are all sold for the same price on the Xbox 360. So you get 2 games for the price of 1. Xbox 360, not so much.
There's no gears, it's automatic.
But you guys pay $60 a year for map packs. For timed exclusive map packs.
But it makes people happy, right?
Does it? Does timed exclusive map packs make you happy?
It makes me happy.
Yeah.
Jolly camper.
Well, that's great. That's great. You have 5 remade maps from previous Call of Duty games coming to your platform exclusive for only 1 month.
Your car's accelerating. And if it's decelerating, you have to push it back.
Okay, like,
Reverse.
have nothing on you.
And then there's 3 pedals. There's the first one's brake goes to left side.
Okay, wait. The TV. Let's talk about the TV. So PS4 is going to get, Internet TV?
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying that they're going to charge you by the, how you use your internet. So they're going to charge your internet for that. Not the bill of the cable or whatever. It's going to charge you by the internet usage. And instead of, just Xbox picking up your TV provider and watching TV
Is
on
that
your
what
console.
your friend told you?
I actually read that.
Because essentially with the deal with Viacom, all you do is subscribe to their service and you can stream live television through the internet to your PS4.
So why is PS4 copying Xbox One with the TV? With all that TV?
It's not really copying. See, we don't need to have a cable box in order to watch TV. You guys have to actually get a new cable box that you're going to have to pay more for from your TV provider in order to use the functionality between the TV box and the Xbox One. So all we need is a PS4, watch TV. Xbox One, you need an Xbox One and a new box from your television provider.
So you're saying
right now, there's not a single set-top box compatible with that feature for the Xbox One.
And what do you mean by that? Am I going to have to get a new set-top box or the box or something just to watch TV?
Yeah.
People just design for how, not for how. That's how
How do you know this?
Because I used to work for a cable company, so I know how it works.
Does your friend work for Microsoft?
I said I used to work for a cable company, so I know how it works.
But hey, how do you know that? I know you worked for it, but are you not sure, it's just a simple cable?
You have to realize something. Set-top boxes provided by, television providers, they're cheap as shit, and their programming sucks ass. They can barely do what they're meant to do. And there's no way to interface with it with the Xbox One. They're ass.
Xbox One sucks.
Who the hell is that?
Sorry. Huh? That was just... Alright.
That just came out of nowhere. Anything else?
PS4 is terrible.
Well, if that's what you feel, that's fine.
When did I get mad at you?
I don't know. It's still, I don't know. I have my Xbox One pre-ordered, and I don't know what to say. You actually got me. Yeah, I see you did your homework.
No, it's not really homework. It's just as the information comes out, just look at it. That's all. That's it.
The Xbox One.
But it was nice talking to you. I'll see what your friend wants to say now.
Xbox One.
Xbox One.
All right. I'll see you later. Good. I guess. Yeah, you got me good. I'm not gonna lie. I did not come prepared for an ass whooping.
I knew it.
Well, I gave you guys an extra day.
Yeah. My friend Sidro is a big fan. He just wants to tell you something. I said.
BBC for the damn win. BBC sucks dick.
Oh, haters and lovers. I love you both. I love my haters and my lovers. I love my haters more, though.
Come on.
It was nice talking to you. Have a good night.
All right, you too, bro. All right, bye.